Boy, do I have someone I want you to meet. Joining me today is LeDawn Sperling. Hi, LeDawn. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you, Rick?
I'm doing great. It's awesome to have you on our program today. This is an opportunity for you and I to get to know each other and for me to learn a little bit about who you are and where did you come from? Are you from Colorado?
I actually grew up in Nebraska. My husband and I both grew up in Nebraska. I grew up in a town named Milligan. That's population 300 people.
Wow.
Grew up on a farm. My dad was not a farmer, but my grandpa was. So did work on the farm a little bit. They didn't really trust me driving the tractor that much. So it was limited. But we moved to Colorado in 2005 for my husband's job. It was part of a corporate relocation. He was promoted.
Okay.
So we've been here since then, and we love Colorado. We would never leave.
Do you have any brothers or sisters?
I have a brother who still lives in Nebraska. He lives in Crete, Nebraska, and my sister lives in Wichita, Kansas.
I had a sister who went to Crete, Nebraska, went to school there.
I went to Doane University for my undergrad.
So did my sister. It was Doane
Really?
College when she went, yes.
It was Doane College when I went too, yeah.
Okay, yeah, small world.
It is a small world.
What did you major in?
I majored in corporate communications at Doane University. And then I went to the University of Denver for my master's program, and that is in marketing and public relations.
So when did you graduate from University of Denver?
I graduated from the University of Denver in 2009.
And what'd you do after that?
When I was getting my master's, I worked first for a consulting engineering firm, Olson Associates, doing public relations and public participation. And then I was working for Newmont Mining Corporation, and at Newmont, I did employee communication.
Okay. And was right after that, is that when you started in real estate?
I did. After the economy started turning around, gold mining was not as profitable, and they had major layoffs. I was not one of the people laid off. But after the layoffs, I decided that it was time for me to look for something else. And I quit my job without having another job. And one of my friends suggested real estate. So I signed up for real estate school, and the rest is history.
So you're with Coldwell Banker now. Have you been with Coldwell Banker the whole time, or how did your career start?
I have. I've been with Coldwell Banker the entire time.
Well, that's
I was
awesome.
really impressed with the resources they had, and really, the marketing program that Coldwell Banker has for listings is outstanding. And that was really important to me because I have my master's in marketing. I want to make sure the marketing for my listings is top notch. So that was the main reason I chose Coldwell Banker.
And so what year was that?
In 2014.
14. Okay. So 6-7 years ago now. And
yes.
Wow, she's one of the top agents at Coldwell. So she's done very, very well. And what's some of the biggest challenges you've had in real estate since 14 or just in general?
I think when I first got started, one of the challenges was not having the structure that you have at a corporate job. So I remember I created my own structure, and I would go to the office every day because I felt like I needed to keep that going. And I know one time I emailed our receptionist and told her, it's snowy today, so I'm not coming in the office. And I'm sure she was thinking, I don't care what you do, because I was so used to having to report to someone. And so I know at one point I was really struggling, and I felt like I wasn't getting as much support as I needed. And my friend in Nebraska, who's a realtor, told me, she's like, you're not going to have someone who's telling you what to do every minute of the day like you did your corporate job. She's like, you have to take this and run with it. So that was a really eye-opening conversation for me, that I realized, yep, this is my business. It's my own business. And I need to structure my business and make my business happen. It's not, no one else can do that for me.
Interesting. Yeah. And do you have any advice for first-time home buyers?
Well, right now the market's crazy. So the advice I always give people is Be prepared to write several offers. You're not going to get the first house you write an offer on. So it's not good to wait until you fall in love with a house to write an offer, because everyone else is going to be in love with that same house too. So just be prepared to be strategic and not let your emotions lead you. Really think about what we're doing, and be strategic about the homes that we write offers on.
And what about for people selling their homes in this market? Do you have any advice for them?
My biggest advice right now for people selling is that put it on the market and let's see the price you get. Just because someone is offering you an off-market deal that sounds really good, you possibly could get more money and better terms by putting it on the market and getting everybody in the world to see your home and seeing how many offers we get and being able to negotiate those terms.
We're in a seller's market, obviously. Things are going very fast. Why would somebody just not do it for sale by owner? What value do you bring to the table?
Well, when we have a listing go on the market, my phone is ringing off the hook, and it is a lot of phone calls, a lot of coordinating with other agents. We have a showing service that makes sure the people going into the home are really legitimate agents. Safety is really important to me. So I just feel like for sale by owner, they can't provide the safety measures that we can for their home and their family. And also negotiating all of those offers and we had 31 offers on a recent listing of mine. There's no way a seller could have handled that. 110 showings in a period of 4 days.
Wow.
That would just be overwhelming for a seller to have to approve all those showings and answer all of those questions for all of the agents calling. So really it's our expertise in making sure we are getting the best offer, negotiating the best terms, and finding the people who can get to the closing table.
Well, you still do a lot of marketing in this environment, don't you?
Absolutely. And I have a whole marketing program for my listings. And even if the listing goes under contract before some of the marketing has happened, I keep that marketing going, because you never know when a contract may fall apart. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to have to restart the marketing, because that just wastes time. And so we keep everything going. Even if the 5280 ad hasn't run yet, we don't cancel that. We keep that on the schedule so that if something does happen to the contract, we are ready to go with getting it back on the market quickly.
Well, I'd imagine too that if you're selling by yourself, you may not even get the 30 offers. You may get a lot fewer of them, and therefore probably not make as much money either on the sale.
Very possibly, yes, definitely.
Yeah. So what gets you up in the morning?
Well, I get up at around 5 o'clock, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because I practice yoga at 5:30 a.m. every 3 times a week. So really it's yoga. And then our cat Elvis also likes to eat early. So he also gets me up in the morning.
Comes up and says, "Mom, I'm ready to go."
Yes, literally. He's in our face saying, "Time to get up."
Time to get up. Meow. Well, hey, I think it's time for favorites. This is a time when we kind of do a quick fire on some of the things you like. And so the first one would be, what's your favorite food?
Oh, I love pasta, but my husband's doing keto, so I don't get nearly enough pasta at my house. But definitely, if I'm going to a restaurant, that's what I look for on the menu. So
you go out to eat a lot now that COVID is lifted a little bit, huh?
Absolutely. I love supporting small businesses. And even when the stay-at-home order was in effect, when we could get carry out from restaurants, I really tried to make sure we were supporting our local small restaurants.
Well, that's awesome. What about your favorite pastime?
Probably reading. I'm in 2 different book clubs, so I read at least 2 fiction books every month, and always looking for for recommendations. So if those of you watching have any good book recommendations, let me know.
Yeah, you can put it in the Facebook notes down there and reply
Perfect,
to it.
yes.
Give her a book recommendation. How about a piece of music that you like?
So I'm not a huge musical person. Let's see. Like the song that I listen to that gets me revved up is My House by Flo Rida.
Okay, that's a good
which
one.
is one that they played at a Coldwell Banker conference a few years ago. And even still, that takes me back to that conference and getting excited about real estate and the work we do. So I do really love that song. I know it's a weird one to say, but.
How about a place to visit in Colorado? What's your favorite place to go to? Definitely
Grand Lake is my favorite place in Colorado.
Oh, pretty place.
Hands down.
Yeah. Well, they need your help this year after the fires. They want people to go there, and they're
yes,
they're
they
saying
do. I need to book a trip soon.
How about outside of Colorado, somewhere else in the world?
Oh, well, this is also not that glamorous, but we go to Vegas quite a bit just because it's an easy flight. I love the shows there. You can always see great entertainment. And so that's the place that I've been most to visit on vacations.
Vegas is a good place to hang out. It's quick from here, especially.
It is a quick trip. That's what I like about it.
Yeah. How about
you have cell service the whole time?
How about comics? Do you pick up to go see any out there in Vegas?
Well, the last comedian we saw in Vegas was David Spade, and I am a huge David Spade fan. But my husband says it's because I like Kate Spade handbags so much, and that's why I like David Spade. So
that would do it. How about restaurant here in town?
That is a tough one. There are so many wonderful restaurants. I would say I'm going to have to say 3.
Okay.
So for special occasions or going to a nicer sit-down restaurant, 240 Union is my absolute favorite. It's located in Lakewood off 6th and Union. I also love Deli Italia, which just won Best Pizza of the Metro area with the Denver Post, and they're at 20th and Wadsworth.
Okay.
And then the Cheese Ranch in Golden is another favorite.
Oh,
they have great deli sandwiches. It's a great place to go for lunch. They have great cheese trays.
We're lucky here in Colorado. We got a lot of options. That's for sure.
We have so many, and there's probably so many I'm not thinking of right now.
Well, got to have a few. So, how about, what's your favorite time of the year?
I really like fall. I like it when the leaves are turning. I hate winter though, but the winters in Colorado are so much milder than the winters in Nebraska.
Yeah.
So definitely fall doesn't have that foreboding that it does in Nebraska.
The wind stops here occasionally, unlike in Nebraska.
Right? Yes. And the snow melts.
Yeah.
And we don't have ice. So
do you have a favorite movie?
Well, my favorite movie is probably Gone with the Wind because that's one that I grew up watching with my mom. And then another favorite movie is The Cutting Edge, which is the one with Moira Kelly and D.B. Sweeney about the hockey player who ends up figure skating in the Olympics. So that's one that I've really loved forever. It's just a cute, fun movie.
And since you like books, this isn't listed here, but do you have a favorite book or a book you'd recommend that you've recently read?
There's so many good books out there.
It's like trying
it's so tough to narrow it down to one. Where the Crawdads Sing is one that I read recently that is really an amazing book and just engaged me throughout the whole book. So that's a recent read that I would recommend.
Okay. How about the favorite way to eat pizza? Do you pick it up with your hands or are you a knife and fork kind of person?
I pick it up with my hands, and my favorite pizza is Deli Italia's sausage and ricotta.
Wow. Yep. Well, you said you like Italian, so
I do.
You like pasta. How about do you have a band that you like?
I love 9 Inch Nails. They've been my favorite band forever. That's the band that I've seen in concert the most often.
Okay. Where'd you see him last?
At Fiddler's Green.
Oh, nice. That's a great venue because you can kind of get in
It
close.
is.
Yeah.
When I worked my corporate job, our office overlooked Fiddler's Green. So we would if we worked late, we could hear every concert.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite childhood memory?
We went on a lot of family vacations every summer, and we had a camper, and we would travel across the country and stay at campgrounds. And sometimes we would be at the same campground for a week. So we would meet other kids at the campground and meet them at the pool. And we had like this whole social life at the campground. And so I think that's one of my favorite childhood memories, were just those summer family vacations at the campgrounds.
As long as you don't have to drive too far in the car.
Right? We drove from one coast to the other in our camper.
Yeah, we kind of did the same thing when I was a kid. How about adult memory? Obviously your wedding, but is there any others that just stand out to you like, oh my gosh, this day was great? And you can say your wedding.
I think honestly buying our first house, that was like a big deal, and it was a big adult thing to do. And it was shortly after we got married, and that was a fantastic adult memory.
Awesome.
Was moving into the first house.
How about favorite person, living or dead?
Wow, favorite person overall. I think personally, my grandparents, because they played such a huge role of who I am today. I spent a lot of time with my grandparents growing up. I'm lucky I still have one grandma who is with us, but my grandparents were just a huge part of my life.
That's awesome. And what's the favorite part about being in the real estate industry, being a real estate agent?
Yeah, my favorite part is helping people. I really love to help people. And when I left my corporate job and was unemployed, I went to a career counselor, and she said, you really like helping people. That's what you really want to do. And that's really a strength for you. So she recommended that I look for jobs in a nonprofit, which I wasn't quite so sure about that. And then when I went to real estate school, the first day of real estate school, he said, a lot of you are here because you like looking at houses, and that's not what this job is all about. This job is about helping people. And I was like, yes, I found the right career.
That's awesome. And she does a great job at it.
I'm on the board of 2 nonprofits. And so I see how hard employees work at nonprofits. I work really hard at real estate too, but wow, one of the nonprofits I'm involved with is the Action Center, and they help those in need in our community. And some of the things that they see with people in need, I don't think that I'm a strong enough person to see that every day.
Yeah, but you get to
I
see
shadowed them one day as they were meeting with people, and there were so many times I wanted to just pull out my wallet and give them money from my wallet, which is not allowed. So I would not be good working there.
Yeah, well, you get the advantage of seeing people have their dreams fulfilled, whether they're selling that home and moving on to their next part in life, or buying that first home like you did, and being able to experience that newness of moving into a new home. And whether it's your first one or your 5th one, it's always great to have that new start. So,
and it never gets old.
Yeah.
The home buying and selling process never gets old to me. It's just as exciting every client I work with.
Exactly. Well, is there anything else you'd like to tell the folks about yourself, or that we didn't cover?
Well, one thing we didn't cover is that I am a huge pet lover, and cats are my preferred pet of choice. And we have our cat family lives with us. So,
oh yeah, we did. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned your cat.
So if you're a fellow cat person, give me a call.
And even if you're a dog person, I'm sure she'd love to talk to
Right.
you.
I help lots of dog people buy homes too.
Well, awesome. Other than the phone number on the screen, is there a good way for people to get a hold of you, or is that the best way?
The best way is my cell number, or you can also email me, and that email is LeDawn.Sperling@coloradohomes.com.
Well, awesome. I appreciate you taking the time out of your real busy schedule. It's really crazy this time of year. So I appreciate you doing this, and good luck as you take the world by storm here in the real estate world. Thanks, LeDawn.
Great. Thanks so much, Rick.
For more real estate news, go to re.today.